3, 2.
Hey everyone! Hey everyone! Well, hey everyone! How are you doing? Welcome back to the Three Strangers podcast. I'm your host Ryan.
I'm Nick.
I'm Nick. That's Bill. Oops, I did.
I'm Bill.
And we like to watch horror movies together.
Hey everyone, and welcome back to the Three Strangers podcast. I am your host Ryan,
I'm Nick.
I'm Bill.
and welcome to our pre-Christmas episode. We show locations or addresses on them.
Show addresses to the world.
Yeah.
Yep, we'll have Skippy make sure we didn't show any addresses.
Fan mail.
But at the end of this
Definitely not.
episode, we're gonna see what movies we got each other, and our next podcast episode will be us discussing the movies that we got. I'm pretty sure I got you guys movies that you've never seen before.
I'm also pretty sure I got you guys a movie that you've never seen before. I'd be really surprised. I'm just gonna say that.
I completely forgot the two movies that I sent both of you, so I hope they're
What? It was a
Ooh.
little while ago.
good.
This is a Christmas 2026 episode, and we just don't know it yet. You know?
Yeah.
We're really planning ahead.
Yeah, we're a little late. When we were supposed to record, I ended up getting COVID, which really
God.
ended up derailing us. But I'm all good, feeling good.
Yeah.
I got like the
Ooh, yeah.
tiniest cough. That's about it now.
Nice.
Sucks getting sick around the holidays. It's just the worst.
I know. Luckily, I tested negative on Christmas Eve, so I was still able to like be with people since I wasn't like I couldn't infect
Yeah.
anyone anymore. But
It's great.
Yeah.
Jeez. Oh, God,
so
it's
we'll
complicated.
we'll end this dourness with the movie we're discussing today,
Oh,
which
yeah.
is
Mm.
Deadstream.
Yeah. I was really excited when you suggested this because I think we were just talking about like how we were kind of like at a low. There's a lot of like depressing movies or just not as great movies. And you threw out this suggestion, and honestly, I'm super glad you did. I might have just watched it yesterday, but wow, did I have a really good time watching this one.
Mhm.
That end, yeah. This came out in 2022.
Yep.
Completely slipped under my radar. It's kind of got a cult following though. And we can discuss it. I think it's because it's funny and it's good at being funny at times.
Yeah.
We'll talk. But yeah.
Yeah, like when I tell you this is in my top 15 favorite horror movies of all time. It is
Wow, I didn't
Wow.
know that.
hilarious.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
I love
Good
this
movie.
movie. And for my horror movie class that I teach at my school, this is the
Mhm.
first horror movie that I show for it.
Oh, did you really?
Yep, because I wanted one that would be modern, but also
Yeah.
not scare kids away for like because it's not that scary. There's great jump
Yeah.
scares in the movie, which we'll talk about, but
Yeah.
it's not
Mhm.
scary at all. And I thought it would be a good way to get them like into the class, have some fun, and then go to 1922 Nosferatu.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah.
You show
That's pretty good.
1922 Nosferatu in that class?
Yeah.
Really? Okay. That's a big ask for kids to watch for middle schoolers to watch a high school or middle schoolers to watch a silent movie. That's crazy. Wow.
It's a high school class. Don't worry. I'm
Oh,
it's a high school.
okay.
Oh, good. Yes, that's right. That's right.
Okay,
Yeah.
no worries. Okay. That's better.
Which is
Yeah.
good. To analyze there with
Because
the
I was gonna
music.
say I showed them Freaks, and we've watched Night of the Living Dead. We
Oh,
watched Black
wow.
Christmas. Can't
Okay.
watch that with the middle schooler.
Yeah. No.
You can't.
No. Jeez.
Yeah. I did have to tell them when we were watching Black Christmas because I do an assignment as after they finish a movie called a letterbox review, and like
Oh.
they have to like rate out 5 stars. Do a little review. What's their favorite quote from the movie? I had to tell them. I was like, you cannot put anything the moaner says in this movie as your favorite quote. I was like, do not even think about it.
If you do, I have
Yeah.
to contact your parents or the principal.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow. There you go.
Yeah, and we start Suspiria this week.
Oh, that will be fun.
Great one.
Mhm.
That'll be fun.
Great
I'm
one.
sure
What,
everyone will.
the original, right?
Oh, of course, the original, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but let's get back to Deadstream.
Yeah, yeah,
It's a
cool.
good
Other
reference.
movies we like, yeah, right.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Deadstream was directed by Joseph Winter, who also wrote the movie, who also produced the movie, who
Ah,
also stars in the movie,
wow.
who
One
did
of
the
those.
music, who edited. This is like our like Adrian Tofay.
Yeah, he's a
Yeah.
passion project guy. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
What would you call it? Like, he's an auteur, right?
Yeah, and on top of that, his wife also helped direct it. His wife also helped to write it, produce it, and edit it
Mm.
as well.
Oh, I didn't
Mhm.
realize that.
So they're a little bit of a team. They've also done a segment in VHS 99 together.
Yes, I saw that in his credits.
Interesting.
Mhm.
He's
Yeah,
also in High School Musical too. Somehow.
Yeah, yeah. Doing the research that counts, Nick. I see. Okay,
yeah,
okay, well done.
the
Yeah.
Yeah,
call to
yeah, yeah, yeah.
the call to fame for him.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Unclear what part he was, but but yeah, he's in there.
Dying to
Yes.
know now, but
Mhm.
yeah. Okay,
So
we'll figure it out.
basically, without any spoilers yet of what this movie is about,
Mm.
it's about a content creator named Sean Ruddy, and he's attempting to resurrect his career because he was canceled. And he decides the best way to
Respectable.
do this is to live stream at a haunted house.
Mhm.
That's your plot.
Mm.
Yeah. I think for 2022, this is a perfect movie, honestly, for our generation and younger. For those people who can remember the Jake Paulers out there who might have been might be ex Jake Paulers, and Logan Paulers who just like can relate to this form of content with very influencer personality type throughout the whole movie and getting what's due.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's probably fair to say. Um, I I think it's perfect timing for this movie, honestly. And can I just
Mm.
say, acting phenomenally, acting so insufferable, but
Yeah.
so well done.
Yeah, he really toes the line of being too insufferable, where we don't like him as a character, to also being
Yeah.
charming.
Yes.
Something that, yeah, no. I agree, and I think I think it's an interesting blend. Maybe we'll talk about it more, like more we get into it. Are you guys on his side at the beginning of this film? It begins pretty like, it's just like, well, we know he got canceled, and we know he's okay. I will say, I know you gotta like, suspend your disbelief sometimes. It's like the sponsors like, you must spend the night at this place. It's like a conceit of the movie, like, it's like, oh, he loses a sponsorship if he doesn't do this challenge. Like, okay, I don't know if there's any contractual obligation that you can do for that, but hey, no, maybe they got it in writing. So,
Mm.
are you guys into him at the beginning of this movie when he's like doing crazy shit, like throwing his spark plug into the woods? Yeah,
Or Spuds to my nuds. With the
yeah, yeah,
potato
yeah.
There is so much to just mention about this film, but I feel like no, I'm absolutely not.
Mm,
Especially because the first 60 seconds, and I mean we're just about to talk about the beginning here, and maybe we can use as the segue. But
Mm.
the first 60 seconds of this movie, I was looking for the remote because I literally thought it was some annoying ad before the movie on
oh
Shudder. And then we got to 2 minutes, and I was like, oh shit, this is gonna be the main guy for the
this is
whole
the
movie.
movie. That's
This is it.
crazy.
Mhm.
Uh,
Oh
that's
yeah,
really
and
funny.
I love the titles of each video that he's doing, like in
Oh,
that beginning segment. Like we have like smuggled across the border, and he's in the trunk of the car,
yeah.
or he's
Yeah.
in his underwear with like dog sledding. Like
Yes. And then there's a there's another mention of like his fight with an old man. Throwing something at no. Does he throw something at the cops and then flips them off?
Yep.
And then, yeah, mm-hmm.
He tries to run from the cops.
Yeah. Yes.
You know, we're already seeing how great this character is, and I love the angelic music that happens with the apology video.
Yes.
Y
Yeah. In the first like in the first 3 minutes of this movie, we start with this like very quick story of this guy getting canceled for all these terrible things he has done. I know I'm kind of stealing the spotlight from Ryan. He's looking at me
No,
like,
you're
Nick,
good.
what the hell? But yeah, with the way that we're starting off with him showing all of the terrible videos. I mean, it's like if somebody showed you, if Logan Paul did a video of, oh, hold on, who was the Suicide Forest one? Was it Jake Paul or Logan Paul?
It was Logan.
Logan.
Okay,
Yeah.
so Logan Paul, as someone just like give you a bunch of his worst videos, including the Suicide Forest video, and then it showed him trying to win himself back. That is how this movie starts, and there are so many details that like honestly made me want to pause the movie so I could like look at all the videos that were in his collection, like all the videos that he has posted, according to the
Mm.
lore, the plot, um, and then a we have a Twitch. It's not Twitch, but it is Twitch pretty much, where he is live streaming. He's talking about these plans to save his image and save himself and get his notoriety back essentially, to prevent him from being canceled further. It's almost a fever dream that movies have come to this point, and I thought, man, this is going to be cringy, and it was, but it was supposed to be by the end of it, and I realized that didn't make it a bad movie. It wasn't a bad movie at all. It was a hilarious movie that made I think was like a perfect fit into today's culture.
Something that's really interesting, and like I don't know if you guys like ever heard this phenomenon, but like when like cell phones were first starting to be introduced into movies and like stuff like that, they didn't really know how to like properly convey the information that like characters were receiving through like text to each other. So that
Mm.
began like the thing where like you'd be like, you'd see characters texting each other, and then like the messages would appear on the screen
Yeah.
to be
Yep.
like, this is what they're
Yeah.
talking about. And people are like, whoa, that's gonna be like, if in 5 or 10 years from where we are now in 2025, we like don't have texting anymore, or like that kind of physical interface for texting.
Mm.
It's gonna really date the movie, right? Like that's gonna really date the movie. And so I'm interested to see, like, I know that this is a very topical live stream, and or Deadstream rather, thing. They cooked with that, I'm interested to see if the conceit of this movie like holds up in the future. I think it works well here, though. I'm just gonna show my hand there, but
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we'll go full spoilers now at this point
Mhm.
forward. So like Nick said, we're seeing all these things that like could get anyone canceled like nowadays, but we don't know yet the true reason why he got canceled, which is a reveal later on in the movie.
Mm. Mhm.
yeah,
All right.
that's interesting,
So
right?
it is, and it keeps you on edge. Like, what did he do that was so bad that got him canceled? Like, I will
Mm.
say, I had my kids do a do now where they had to guess what he did. Like, they had to take guesses of why they think he got canceled. No one guessed
Mm.
it, and of course, no one's gonna guess it. It is
No.
so it fits the tone perfectly to the movie.
Mm.
It is good in that, yeah.
All right, so
Yeah,
I
it's
think
not
we'll
something
just
outlandish
start.
for sure.
Yeah, I think we'll just start talking about it. And I know we talked about saying what our favorite quotes from the movie is. So I think once we get to where the quote happens is when we'll kind of stop and talk about, because there's so many funny lines, little things that if we haven't said yet, watch this movie. It's on Shudder.
Hmm.
Get a membership. You could get like a free month trial.
Yeah.
Do it.
It's worth the trial alone for this movie. It really is. This is really it's a Shudder original, like Ryan just said, and it I think it totally sells the what an independent actor and director and production can really look like on its own. And just
Mhm.
so yeah, I would definitely recommend it.
Yeah. So kind of what we've been talking about, Sean. he's talking about how he's going to be staying in a haunted house for a live stream. He has his sponsors, and basically, if he were to leave or to end the live stream, he would lose his sponsorship.
Mm-hmm.
And he's basically like, this is his last chance, so he doesn't want to lose any of that, and he thinks this will be the thing that causes him to be like to come back, to have his major comeback.
Yeah.
Let's start getting into it. So the deal with the sponsor, like we said, is that he needs to fully explore the house. That is the biggest thing with this sponsor. He needs to go through all of the house. So what he starts doing is he places cameras in each of the rooms. He places a camera outside, and of course he names them like outside cam, bathroom cam. And during all this time, he's telling us the story of why the house is haunted. Uh,
Mm.
and it is haunted by a ghost named Mildred Pratt, who was a wealthy Mormon heiress and a failed poet who died by suicide after her publisher, who she was in love with, uh, dies.
Mhm.
Right.
And then since that event, other people have gone to the house or stayed in the house, and they have either seen hauntings or had been killed themselves.
Yeah. Very, very typical haunted house stuff. He's going and he has to stay the night, both because of his challenge, and also so because of his sponsorships telling him to. And he has to investigate every sound he hears. Like anything that happens, he has one of the rules he sets is he has to go check it out.
Yeah.
Interesting. Like, this is a bit of a sidebar. Did you guys have a haunted house growing up, like in your town? I say this weirdly because I did. I don't know if this is like a relatable thing. I think it's an interesting conceit of the movie, but did you guys have anything like that? That was like the designated haunted house of the town?
I mean, we had like, I mean, Bill, we lived close to each other, so
I was gonna say I'm like, this is a little awkward, but yeah.
yeah. I mean,
What was it?
I
Yeah, what
didn't
was
know
your
what
haunted
no,
house, right?
yeah. I actually don't know the one that you're talking about, if it is the one that I'm thinking of, but there was the
Interesting.
one in it rhymes with Bibberty.
Oh, Bibberty. Mine rhymes with Ballaboon Benter.
Oh, yes. Okay, wait, I do know.
Okay, Bibberty.
And the quest for anonymity here, it really is great.
Really? Okay. We might have to cut some of this stuff, but
Nick's
it's
gonna be
okay.
like,
We
I
don't
know
live
a
there
place.
anymore.
Nick's gonna be like, I know a place that rhymes with bong by
Bong. Bong. Excellent. Excellent.
Yeah. That's it.
All right. And yeah, guys, I think that's the episode. So
Yeah.
but um sorry, I just say this because yeah, no, there was a place by me growing up that the rumor of it is that it was a creepy old stone house, and it was supposedly built in the 1800s by like an occult, somebody that believed in the occult. And
Mhm.
it was called like the, well, I don't want to reveal too much, but like it was the name of the person who built it, like their house. And it
Mm.
traded hands over the years, but it got a lot of bad reputation for like being
Mm.
like a house you didn't want to own, even though it was a very nice house. um and so I think that's kind of interesting that like it is playing into the thing that, like, I think a lot of people do have those sort of like spooky, houses and stuff like that. Like, it's not like that far out of like the realm of possibility, even though he, Sean, like in the movie, obviously believes it to be like not real, you know.
Yeah. And he kind of says like he's afraid of ghosts, but he also is kind of like, he doesn't think what's happening is actually gonna happen.
Right.
He doesn't really believe that's real.
Yeah.
All right, so we'll start to go to well, let me stop and say that while all this is happening, is set up and everything like that, we could see most of the time his chat for the live stream, and he
Yes,
interacts
pretty
with
much,
it a
yeah,
lot.
pretty much almost the whole movie.
And the chat has some of probably the funniest lines in this movie. If you read some of the things of what is said, and I highly suggest after watching it, watch it a second time and just
Yeah,
look at the chat more. And you'll
yeah.
find random comments about like PewDiePie in there. He even mentions PewDiePie in the
Wow.
movie, but
Oh, oh wait, I missed
yeah,
that one. Yeah.
like someone was like, oh my god, what was I think the line or like the chat says like PewDiePie wouldn't be this scared or something like that.
Yeah. Oh man, it's such a meta movie with the I was thinking just like I knew what they even got with the chat that I just like didn't really think about until I watched a movie that was trying to recreate it. How random like Twitch streams are on their chat. Because like sometimes you'll have people like comment on like, oh man, this is no way, no way, I don't believe you. Or yeah, yeah, I believe in you, Sean, yada yada. And then there'll be random things like, you look good in that shirt today. Where can I get that
Yeah.
shirt? Does anybody know where I can get his shirt? It's like, and then
Mhm.
you have random stuff that's just like talking about things that are completely irrelevant. But that's what chats are, right? Like sometimes they're full ass conversations that have nothing to do with the stream that you're watching at all.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and to see him react to those comments throughout the movie, in real time, you're doing the thing where like he reads out the comments and the person who is saying that comment. I think really just like, it really felt like I was watching a stream the whole time.
The comments in this movie is its own character.
Yes,
They're that present throughout the movie.
yeah, that's for sure. And something I gotta talk about, and because we talked about all this setup, something that got me right away was, like I hated it. I hated the first 2 minutes of it. 'Cause I thought I was like, I hate him, and then, we get to the place where we think like, oh, okay, he's at the house. His like live stream is going to start, and it starts with I forget what the date is, but maybe one of you can help me. Um, this footage this footage is from blah 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 blah. Um, it was found on this date, or Sean was never seen, something like.
Right.
Somebody help me, I'm
Yep.
butchering, but it does that found footage thing where this is footage that was found in a certain amount of time. But then, right as you're reading it, you realize it's a shirt that he is holding in front of the camera, and he slowly steps back, and it's just merch that he sells, and he like,
It's kind of awesome,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
it was like, oh man, this is, what, this is gonna be a hilarious movie.
Yep.
What a
Listen,
To
I
follow
slapstick
up right after that with him putting on his own mixtape of a song that he made, which literally just sounds like if correct me if I'm wrong, I'm pretty sure that is like John Carpenter's Halloween that he's just basically ripped off of. And
Yeah,
then
yeah,
you
yeah,
could hear him go, "You could
Yes.
buy this in the Apple Store," or so instantly 2 plugs right off the bat.
yeah. Come on, Brad. I kinda want that shirt though. Is that wrong? Is that a wrong
Yeah,
thing to
no,
say?
I think it would be hilarious.
Yeah,
I hope
yeah.
that merch is sold
I
somewhere.
I think that if we get 10,000 likes on this no.
Whoa! Well, crazy that we're live streaming right now. I bet you didn't know that, Ryan. Actually.
Oh, whoa.
Oh,
Whoa.
whoa. No. Yeah, what's it?
Oh, meta.
Well,
If
careful,
this gets
careful.
10,000 likes, we'll stay at a haunted place.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean,
Yeah.
10,000 likes. Okay. Yeah, I will. I would.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. I'll do that. Yeah. Why not?
Yeah, if this gets 6 no, okay.
Yeah, yeah. 5 big old likes. 5 big old likes.
Yeah.
We'll
If
spend
we
a
get 5
weekend.
comments on this video and a podcast episode, we will do 48 hours no eating in the haunted house.
Wow. Wow, that's crazy,
And we will
guys.
give the top donor during that time that we stay there 5 booms.
5 big booms.
Oh man, okay, and here we are making deals.
Here
And
we
so
go.
and so
We
bad.
had to get the Costco boys involved in this.
Big fan. Much love to them. Much love to them.
Oh my god.
the content.
How many likes for the Rizzler to be with?
Oh,
Those
Jesus,
are-
Jesus. All right, the brain rot is too is going too
Yeah,
far.
never viewing, never viewing.
Now, yeah.
So,
Oh my
all right,
God.
so and it starts right away. Something I appreciate is that this movie kind of starts right away. He's in it within he's in the house within the first 10 minutes.
Mhm.
Um,
We're getting
and
all of our
something,
lore, like where they are just getting rid of everything out of the way so they can start doing some fun stuff.
yeah, which I kind of really appreciate. It's like, okay, instead of like really stretching this throughout the rest of the movie, they do kind of get it away up front. And I don't know about you. So he walks in and and it's what you'd expect of an abandoned house. Graffiti everywhere. And dilapidated furniture, some walls falling apart, there are holes. I don't know about you guys. I thought immediately, like, I'm gonna start reading all the graffiti. Because in my head,
Mhm.
I was thinking, like, oh, I bet this is gonna like foreshadow something.
Clues. Yeah, the
And then
clues.
it didn't. I was like,
Well,
oh.
I'm gonna show my hand a little bit, and I don't know why for any particular reason. I okay, so I guess I'm jumping ahead like around a little bit, but you know how he goes to the room that there has been no paranormal activity
Yep, the
identified
safe
in?
room.
The safe room
Yes.
that he designates as a safe room,
Mhm.
and then he finds he calls like a strange symbol or whatever.
Yep.
Right?
Yeah.
I knew that that's a hamster. I
You
was like,
did?
"Don't destroy that!" Yeah, dude. Yeah, dude. I used to be a little into it. I used to be a little into that thing.
Oh.
I don't want to show my hand too much, but I was like, "Wait, don't get rid of that!" Like, that's the reason it's the safe room, and like,
Oh
and then
my
like,
god.
yeah, and then I was like, "Oh shit!" Like, but I want to say, even if you didn't have that knowledge, he shouldn't be destroying weird symbols in this
Yeah.
scary place, because it can't be good. You're either taking away something good or unleashing something bad, right? Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
And I believe there's a foreshadowing line where he goes, I hope this isn't the reason that something bad happens to me tonight.
Oh, well,
Yep.
yeah. Everybody. Yeah.
Like, oh man, maybe a little too forced.
Yeah, that was a little,
um,
yeah, but
yeah,
oh well.
I will say in this first scene, he comes up to one of my favorite quotes, and it was honestly at the point where I was like realized the true just like authenticity. I don't know authenticity, but also just like intentional cringe of the movie. He goes into the what I believe is the toddler's room with the hole in the wall. It's like to the
Yes.
Mhm.
outside. He goes, "Oh no! Oh, and there's a broken window." And he goes, "Why is the window not boarded up? Do you think someone escaped?" And then he keeps on going. And I at that point, that's when I put in my notes, "Wow, this guy is insufferable."
Mhm.
Like I just absolutely hate him.
Like, it literally I think, like, a good example of, like, a recent YouTuber that would kinda do stuff like this is, like, Sam and Kobe.
Yes.
Mm,
Hmm. Yeah,
But
very conversational, very like flow of consciousness if we're getting like really scientific with it, but that's what it is, just like literally saying what you're thinking, but
mhm,
for, for enticement when you're a content creator.
yeah. So, we'll keep on going. So, Bill, you alluded to the next thing, which is when he sets up his safe room and he sees the strange symbol. And I think
right.
it's at this moment also, or this might be after, I forget, when he starts peeing in the bucket in the safe room, and then
This
the
is not
chat's
good.
all spamming, like, there's something outside of the
Yeah,
room,
yeah.
and he goes to
Crazy.
check it, and, you know, he starts hearing noises, and he has the funniest scream. His, like, fearful scream is so funny throughout the movie.
Yeah, it's like as close to the I don't know, it's as close. I mean, he does it, but it's as close to the screaming and then going to hide a blanket scream, like going to hide under a blanket scream that he can do, which he does do a couple of times
Yeah.
in the movie. Um, And to give more background to the people listening, if they haven't seen, the chat's like spamming those comments because he's setting up the camera where as soon as something happens inside the room, it's a motion capture and it starts recording and it overlays the stream. So the viewers can see the movement, but he can't.
Mhm.
The comical juxtaposition of something scary first scary thing happening while he's just peeing in a bucket and all you're looking at is his face is just honestly it was gold to me. It was like this is
Yeah.
wonderful. This is going to be really funny.
So then on top of that, watching the fight, not even good.
Yes. Not even good fake. No, yeah. Mm. It becomes so real. Like it's like what you said
Mhm.
earlier. The chat is its own character, and it really is
Mhm.
really successful.
So this is when he runs back into the safe room, and out comes Chrissy, who, first off,
Yes.
psychotic. Like,
Oh
if
yeah.
he says, like, no one knows where he is, like, he is out in the middle of nowhere,
Mm-hmm.
and then Chrissy comes walking in, who's, like, super fan for him.
Mm-hmm.
Instantly, I'm like, "Alright, I'm out." If I'm in his,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah. But also so real, right? Like we have all heard stories of influencers or live streamers or YouTubers who run into a fan or who have a stalker fan. Um and it's like one of those like dark sides of being an influencer that doesn't get talked about a lot. And it's again like oh my god, so real. Like he's being stalked. The Chrissy is immediately creepy. But
Mhm,
also very real to life. The chat has quite a different reaction than the viewer to Chrissy.
mhm. The chat, so basically, Sean wants her gone. He wants her to leave, and also he also mentions how his sponsorship, he doesn't know how his sponsors will do with this, since the agreement was he had to be alone in the house, and a part of him, I don't think, wants to share the spotlight. He's very
Yeah.
me, all about himself.
Mhm.
So, to have him be like, "No, like, you should leave," and then the chat being like, "Girl, she's hot, stay." Like,
We want Chrissy. Do you want her to stay? Okay, I'll make a poll.
yeah. One of the comments literally writes like, "Kiss her." Like, it truly feels like a Twitch chat. Like, if you were to
Yeah.
go into, like, Los Pollos stream, or like a Kai Cenat stream, like one of
Yeah,
those.
kind. Yeah,
One of those
anything that's
types.
just like very storytelling. Yeah. Mm.
So
And
she ends up,
oh, sure.
oh, you go, Nick.
No, that's it. Yeah, I think that's it. Go on. Yeah, she really ends up being a focal character of the rest of the
Mhm.
movie.
Yes, she ends up being the voice of the chat at as soon as she's introduced. Even when we don't see the chat, she kind of says things like, "Oh, well, wouldn't this look good for your sponsors?" Or, "Oh, this is what the chat would want to get you more viewers." And he even sees, with Chrissy there, he's close to getting the record of the most viewers that he's had.
Yeah.
I think it's like in the millions.
Mhm. So he ends up allowing her to stay, and they end up going around investigating the house. Sean gives her a camera, uh, and Chrissy has the bright idea of, let's do a seance.
Yeah. Hmm.
So they go into one of the rooms that they mentioned before. I think they call it, was it the tall man? That the room that they refer to it as. Uh,
Corner
basically,
man.
there's corner man. Yes.
Corner
Uh,
man. Legend.
yeah, they see the legend of him is he says stuff about the pond water is still. He repeats, the
Mm-hmm.
pond water is still. What does that
And
mean? Right? So they start doing their seance, and Chrissy has the bright idea of telling Sean to recite a phrase in Latin that will bring the souls to peace in the house.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
good.
All right, who, if you
Yeah.
are in this situation, who's reciting the Latin?
Who is no. Let's just start reciting Latin that's written down. Oh no, it's not written down. She says it. She apparently knows a phrase in Latin. And asks him to repeat it. Like, no, nuh-uh. That is immediately like, I'm a not.
Mhm.
It's funny. For some reason, like when we got to this part, like where it's like, oh, we should like do this like thing in Latin. I got like such a strong like it wasn't even hard.
Yes.
Honestly, it's a little bit
Oh
of Evil Dead
yeah.
with like this book you're really not supposed to like read from the thing, and that's like okay, like you already destroyed something, but it's like oh, like even if you don't believe in it, like you don't need to do all this. But he's like a hype beast, he's like a
Yeah.
clout chaser. So he's
Yes.
he's like I'm already in this terrible situation, like and I don't really believe in it anyway, so let me just do the thing. But oh my gosh, yeah. I mean, obviously we have the meta knowledge to be like, we would not do this if we were in a horror movie. But yeah.
Mhm.
But yeah,
And I love how you mentioned the Evil Dead link because a lot of,
yeah.
like, the marketing and some images from the movie recreate that original, like, poster from Evil Dead with Sean being, like, the one
Really?
that's, like, grabbing out. Yeah.
Oh, so it's really uh pretty blatant. Okay, interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I
Like,
see. Yeah, yeah. It is very similar
yeah.
with the arm.
Mhm. And it
Okay.
has the, what we'll talk about later with the nose.
Oh my
Um,
god. hmm
Very funny gag throughout the movie.
Well,
Uh,
I mean, I, yeah, we'll talk about that later because that would be to skip. But I will say there, there's some good lines in this little couple of minutes. Um, and the seance, which requires an object, right? And for those, I've never really been clear actually on what a seance is. I know it requires an object from the past that can symbolize a spirit. I believe can help somebody. When you help me out with that, um, and he, yeah, go on, Bill.
Sorry. Are we just talking about like a séance in general, like what
hmm
that's supposed to like, accomplish?
yeah, like a normal seance.
A normal séance, like if I'm to understand, and I know we're getting into like the meta of kind of being like, what do we believe, of the spirit
hmm
world in our real life? But like, yeah, it's simply communication. I believe. I don't think there's any kind of
Uh,
manifestation that's supposed to occur, but like maybe I guess an extreme example. But yeah. I would say like a Ouija board is supposed to be like the most generic way that
yeah.
you're able to hold a séance.
Okay.
Yeah.
More vague than
Mm,
I.
You're welcoming the yeah, whatever you believe to be out there to communicate.
yeah.
Yeah.
Usually
Yeah.
it's to figure out more information about something that you wanna know.
Yeah.
hmm
Why they're here, how they died, who they
Mhm.
are, if you don't know,
Yeah.
you know?
hmm
Yeah. Yeah. Very interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So at this point, that's when they discover there's a little, like, there's a closet in the room, and there's something that leads downstairs. So they kick it down, they go downstairs, and they find a chest where inside the chest is a key to somewhere,
hmm
and they find Mildred's poetry book.
Mm.
And this is where Sean starts reading some of the poetry.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
And we see he starts making fun of it. And he was like, "This doesn't even rhyme."
That's one of my favorite quotes in the movie. It's not my absolute favorite, but it's like, "Doesn't even rhyme," and I'm like, "Oh, that's such a, like, you, like, don't know poetry at all." It's like, "No,
Yeah.
poetry fine, but yeah, okay.
Right.
And I love Chrissy's face, and that's like,
yeah, it's an eye roll. Yeah, it's like, yeah. And it's also very like you can tell it's old. Like it becomes very obvious. Like this is like an original thing. It's her journal, and he does the casual thing. Is he takes the journal and he finds a box that's locked, and he
Mhm.
just stuffs it away in it, in his pack.
yeah,
Like a
feels
video
very
game. Like
video
we're
game.
watching.
I was,
Yes.
yeah.
Take it for later. Take it for later.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good.
I mean, it quickly the movie quickly, because he has a point of view cam, quickly feels like video gamey almost because of a way out, or a way out if it was a haunted house. But I'm sure there are other there are tons of other horror games that it kind of emulates.
Hmm. Yeah. So at this point, they leave down there, and Chrissy tries to scare him, and she's tried to scare him a few times. She'll like disappear and then like pop up and like freak him out. And this is when Sean remembers that he locked all the doors to the manor as soon as he got there, which means that either Chrissy would have had to somehow get to the second floor through that
Mm,
hole in the wall, or she already had to be
mm.
there.
Just had the whole time.
Yeah. So
This blows her cover. This blows her cover.
yeah.
Right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So Sean accuses her of being a stalker, rightly so, and tells her to leave. And he's kind of repeating it, and you could see like Chrissy's getting a little mad, to the point where she decides to attack him and bites his neck. And Sean, in defense,
That was
stabs
crazy.
her.
Yeah.
It was kind of crazy because I did not realize what was going on at first. Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah,
I really
it's kind of you almost don't know if she is just. I mean, she goes right to biting his neck. You almost like for a split second you think, oh, she's just attacking him, and then you realize this isn't like a human thing to do. And you guys
Hmm.
like, oh, he might be possessed. I think it's worth noting. Right before this scene, they I think a Ouija board gets brought out.
That
Somebody's
was
just
yeah.
yeah, and so a Ouija board gets brought out and part of the seance. And Chrissy has a line before any of the weird shit with her, and she says, "Hello, my spirit children." Right at that moment, I wrote down Chrissy is 100% obsessed by Mildred, by the by the journal, and then
Yeah.
the attack happens, and I wrote, "Oh, yep,
Yep. So Chrissy is stabbed dead on the floor. Uh, and Sean at this point is like, all right, I need to call the cops. Like, I need to turn myself in. Like,
mhm,
You just killed yourself. You killed somebody in self-defense. Yeah.
yeah.
yeah,
But when he goes like outside to check the body's gone.
Wah, wah. You could have seen that. So respectfully, could see that one coming. Right. Of course she's gonna.
mhm,
Yeah. Uh, so at this point now he's starting to get haunted. Like Chrissy's doing stuff, and I guess at this point we should say Chrissy's Mildred.
yeah, yeah." It
Right.
becomes
You know,
obvious.
yeah, Chrissy is Mildred, and Sean's trying to figure out ways to escape. He's getting jump scared. He's hiding in the closet. Uh, and this is when probably my favorite, like this might be my favorite moment in the movie. I think it's here. Uh, is when he's hiding in the closet,
Mm.
and like
Oh God,
he's
yep.
like crying a little bit. He's a little upset about what's happening, and
Mhm.
he lifts the blanket, and Mildred's face is right there, and she goes, "Guilty!" And she bites right on his crotch.
Oh, it's so tough.
Which doesn't really go acknowledged. You guys,
Mhm.
that never gets acknowledged. Like you see it happening. First of all, it is there's such a jump because you go with him lamenting. He starts to lament a little bit with the stuff that he's done in the past. But then you realize like he's defending himself a little bit still, so he's not really apologetic, but he's still doing that like fake apology thing. And then to have her face be in his crotch, in between his legs, coming up from the ground, and then he takes off is such a quick change of pace that honestly I feel like the movie does really well.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah, this is interesting because now we're like sort of in this like I guess would you guys call this like Act 3? How do you divide
No,
this
this
movie
is still Act 2. We're still in Act 2 right here.
Really? I feel like in some ways I kind of like view it as like everything before Chrissy shows up is sort of like Act 1. Maybe not actual
Okay.
and like actual thing, but then like and then like the
Mhm.
Chrissy now that like it's like okay, it's like him versus like Mildred, right, and everything.
Mhm.
I understand what you're saying though, right? I think it's like it's like it's not in like script writing like actual Act 2, but I'm just
Yeah,
sort of in my
I think
head. Yeah.
I think Act 3 is when he's outside and he's, like, starting to rev himself up to go inside when he has the plan.
Yeah.
That's
Okay.
kind of where I
Okay.
put Act 3
Yeah,
for
I'd say that.
myself.
Yeah.
Got it. Like after he escapes the house.
Yes.
That's sort of like the division.
And
Okay.
and how
In
does
a
he
really
escape the
crazy
house?
way.
Yeah, how does he escape the house? He jumps out the window of a second story.
Yep.
Oh, so painful, so painful. God.
Yep,
Which
and you hear a little snap.
yep,
The
which is his
Ah,
legs. And I gotta say, I feel like that should be used in horror movies more, jumping out a window. You get these haunted
mm.
house things, and not a death. I don't mean a death out of a window, a jumping out of a window escape scene.
Usually we get a death involved with the jumping out the window or, like,
Yeah.
something happening. Like, I instantly think Child's Play for,
Yes.
like, a window death. Like, that one's iconic to me.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. And I think of Go Ask Alice.
What
Is
was
there?
Alice, Sweet Alice?
I mean, Alice, Sweet Alice, not Go Ask
Mm,
Alice. Go Ask Alice is a book.
Dude, I was
Yes,
gonna say, I'm like,
Alice,
I've
Sweet
never heard
Alice.
of like fake fan
Alice, Sweet Alice.
detected.
Yeah, Alice, Sweet Alice with the I believe there's a couple window deaths in there, but yeah, but that's not
mhm,
escaping. It's just violent window deaths of people falling. So it's not as yeah.
mhm.
I just feel like underrated escape tactic.
Yeah, and during this time, right before he jumps out, a couple of things. He goes downstairs and finds where the key goes, which is to a little
Yes.
box, and inside the box is a finger, uh,
Yes.
a severed
Mm,
finger, and also sees a picture that reveals that Chrissy was Mildred.
yeah.
Uh,
And so does the chat. Good for the chat too.
yeah.
Claps the chat
Yeah,
for
it
discovering it
did.
before him.
And the chat at this point as well starts pointing out about the Hamza uh, that was
Mhm.
meant to protect against evil and how he destroyed it.
Yeah.
Uh, so at this point, he doesn't know what to do. He's being terrorized and he jumps out the second floor window. And I'm skipping a lot of stuff because at the same time, I
Mhm.
want you guys to watch this movie.
Yeah. There are
Uh,
so many nuances of this movie that like to say them all would just be too much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he tries to find the spark plugs to his car because at the beginning he said he's protecting himself from himself, took the spark plugs out of his car and threw them into the woods.
Insanity.
Insane. So now he has to go find them.
Mhm.
And of course he
Which he
gets haunted by
remarkably
one of them.
yeah, sorry, yeah. And he remarkably does find both. That
Yeah.
like blew my mind. I was like, "Oh my god, he actually is gonna find them." Wow.
Yeah. Never does anything with them though. Because he has no time.
Yeah,
Uh
no.
this is where you have a police officer show up.
Mm, mhm.
And of course at this point, Sean kind of knows. He's like, there's no way. There's no way, and I forget what the police officer says, which kind of throws Sean to be like, "Oh, no, I don't trust him."
He starts complimenting the technology. He's like,
Yeah.
"Oh, it's cool how you're
Oh,
doing this.
mhm,
I've
Yeah.
been watching you all night." And
Oh,
it's
that's
like, oh.
good.
And I don't know if you guys realize, but I knew right away that it wasn't a real officer because you see the officer earlier on in the movie.
Mhm.
There's a symbol to look for. There's a picture of him.
I would say the picture, and also when they talk about the corner man, you see a brief picture of the corner man, and it looks the same.
Yes.
Mm.
Yes.
Yep. So he runs
Becomes
into
cool.
the car, and during the time in the car, uh, now his chat is getting involved and sending him videos. They sent him a video with the Hamza. It was like a little kid that was like, "Sean, that that was a Hamza you destroyed.
That's me. That's
That's
me.
not
Bill,
the way."
that's Bill in the
You
chat.
need to listen to
Yeah, and
me.
my
Thank
favorite
you.
little detail
Yeah,
with that is he's like,
my
"But
critique.
Sean, I love you. You're the best." He instantly pauses the video as soon as he starts saying that. He's like, "I don't care," which like shows his character, like who he truly is.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah. Truly showing him and being relatable. Well, similar to drawing some similarities to maybe the worst personalities out there, the internet personalities that have gone so infamous.
mhm. And this is also where one of my favorite parts of the movie. Uh, the grandma of one of Sean's fans is explaining how she left the Hamza behind there because it was haunted, and the kid tells her that Sean destroyed it, and she instantly goes, "Oh shit, he's gonna die."
Oh no.
Yeah. Oh my god. Yeah. I was like just you think like, oh, this is like the information revealing part of the movie, and it's like, oh, he's dead.
Mhm.
Oh man, yeah. And then he oh my gosh, he and because it's an older woman, he like speeds up the speed, and he goes,
Yep.
"Oh, this is too slow, two
That's
times
really funny.
speed."
That's really funny. I really enjoyed that moment.
Oh
Oh
my
my
god.
god.
Mhm.
Yeah. That's really good.
Yeah, so you have that, and on top of that, he starts like apologizing for the things he's done because now he's like, it's because of all the bad that I did, and that's when he kind of starts thinking about how he could actually defeat this thing. To which he kind of purports it to demonetizing her. So he
Monetize.
realizes that Mildred wants a family, and that's why she has all those like people that she haunted, killed, so that they would enjoy her poetry, be there for her.
Yeah.
Sean's plan is to basically cut that connection, make him the one that they like, making it so
Mhm.
Mildred has no power.
Right.
Yeah. Seamless plan.
Yeah, and he sees in the book, in the poetry book, how she was able to do it. So he plans on going back into the house, and while he's doing that, to have his chat decode the words that he needs to say for it.
Mhm. Mhm. Very again, once again, like the real like reliance on the chat, and then some in the chat having like all the knowledge. Yeah, I think there's something to be said about like internet personalities and Twitch streamers that like this movie captures. That's like sometimes your followers are more intelligent than you are,
Mhm.
and that they want you to they want the best for you, but sometimes they know much better than you. Um,
Yeah.
and it does. I mean, they successfully translated.
And I love also, and I forget if it's here or like right after, uh, there's a ghost-like child, and he calls Mildred out and it says that she's getting a child army for him, and compares her to PewDiePie, which is also a great little gag that they
Yeah,
have in it. But he
Yeah.
goes
oh,
into the house, he starts talking crap about her poems, and like I love how he's like reading. He's like, "This stuff is good, not,"
no,
and then like you hear like a little "Rrr," like. So he runs into the
oh,
safe room to get an extra iPad because the one he had outside broke, and he starts translating reading the comments that translated what he has to do. Uh, while he's doing that, he does start apologizing for the things he's done, and we figure out the reason that he was canceled.
Yeah.
So, Sean decided for one of his videos that he was going to fight a homeless man
Oh boy.
and
And
beat
not
him
only
until he
fight
had to go
him,
to the hospital.
yeah, it's like
Crazy.
the absurdity, and just like the
Mhm,
absurdity of how terrible this guy Sean is
mhm,
it keeps getting echoed, it keeps getting exemplified, and it's worth saying that this comes out while he's truly lamenting. This is truly when he becomes apologetic and real, and uh yeah, this whole monologue that he has when he reveals is just there's so many every sentence I feel like is so intentionally written because it's so cringy and like so just like
mhm.
tilted slightly the wrong way. Um, yeah, and the way it ends too is like he he realizes that he offended um the non-American populations with his getting smuggled across the border for fun in a
Yeah.
car,
Yeah.
Mhm.
and he suddenly he decides to dedicate this
Yep,
live stream to them. It's
yep.
just
So terrible, but funny.
oh yeah, the tone deafness is just so real.
Yeah, and during this time, he fights Mildred, uh, and he ends up, uh oh, was he stabs her, right? But oh no, he gets like it's like the cleaver and like hits it on her head, and then
Yes.
attaches a camera to it and names it Dead
Mildred.
Cam. It, such a
Yeah.
oh my god. So
Yeah.
we figure out that it doesn't work. What he's trying to do, it didn't work. The something went wrong with the ritual. Uh,
Yeah.
and then she decides after she's knocked him out to waterboard him with his own urine.
Oh, it's so brutal.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then she sticks her finger up his nose,
Yeah,
which
and
is
it's
the
not the first
second
time it
time.
happened. Yeah.
And he even says, "Why do you keep on doing that?" But he's able to gain the upper hand and starts crawling downstairs, which is this is my favorite line of the movie right here.
Okay.
When he's rolling down the stairs because he can barely walk anymore, right? So he goes tumbling down the stairs, right?
Mhm.
Then, we see Mildred's been following him, like, is crawling, right? So Mildred goes, "I'm gonna get you." And as soon as she says you hear her tumble down the stairs, falling down it, which, like we said, the comedy of this movie is so stupid, but
Oh my gosh.
absolutely hilarious.
Yeah. I think it's very cognizant of well not it's very similar to did you guys ever see The Play That Goes Wrong?
No, dude,
Yes.
but I've wanted to. Oh well. Oops.
I mean,
Which one?
Bill, it really is just like and I even remember laughing. I remember 15 minutes into The Play That Goes Wrong, my chest hurt from laughing.
It's
And
so
a
funny.
Broadway show had never done that. And it's just essentially like anything that goes wrong during a production of a play
Yep.
happens. And so, like, as actors, all three of us are actors. It's phenomenal, like just how much shit can go wrong in a show and does.
Mhm.
And that's what the rolling down the stairs felt like. It was like, oh, this wasn't supposed to happen.
Mhm.
All right, is that the show? And like, not to like speak too much about like Broadway shows, like thing, but like, is this the one where the first one is you seeing the play? Sorry, my cat's about to get out of here. Um, Is this the one where the first act is like you see the play as it was presented to the audience, and then like act 2 is like the play from like behind the scenes or something like that? Or am I thinking of something different? I
It's
don't know.
something different.
That's something different.
Maybe totally different. Okay, this is just a thing. Okay, well I'll still put it on my list. Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah, the show is. I mean, you. It's supposed to be a murder mystery, I believe, if I remember correctly. It turns into a murder mystery, and except with murder, with murder mysteries, everything has to be intentionally placed, right? Like things have to line up. Like if you misplace a prop, for example, like oh, there's a knife on the ground. If there's no knife on the ground, then it's like shit. There's no knife on the ground. Now whatever. And essentially the play is just like anything that goes wrong does, and even more. Like things that you would have never thought could happen. Um, but I think the rolling down the stairs like example of that, because like it almost seemed like the actor wasn't supposed to, and it was so funny when it did.
Mm-hmm. It's very on brand with the rest of the movie. And
Yes.
at this point, Sean has had the realization of what he needs to do. The only thing he didn't do was a sacrifice of flesh, remembering about the severed finger that he found in the box. So he deducts, all right, I need to do that. So he redoes the ritual and cleavers his own finger off. It's so nasty. It's very well done. Like the
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
very low budget, look excellent, and it works. Mildred gets sucked into one of the grates and gets dragged into hell, and there's a big blood spurt that hits
Mhm.
Sean,
In the face.
and at this moment you can see him like totally like eyes wide, like what just happened, to instantly putting on triumphant music and saying, "Suck on that, Huffington Post." Ah, what
Yeah.
a character. Like, so insufferable, but you love him.
Mhm.
Like,
To the very end.
yeah. He's
Mhm.
apologized, he's done everything, and still
Mhm.
you're like, "This guy."
Mhm. Very much like a Michael Scott.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, to the very end. When he wins, or at least he thinks he wins.
Mhm. And that's when, as he's getting ready to exit, the other ghosts and ghouls from the house basically corner him and cut the live stream off. So does he die? Does he survive?
No,
Is he the new Mildred? Is he gonna do poetry? We don't know.
you don't.
I don't know.
And that is Deadstream.
Yeah. I'm not gonna lie. At
So
the end, I was sad that it was over.
mhm,
Yeah, and it kind of ends on this like did he die?
mhm,
I mean, I think he probably did. Right?
yeah,
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
He's too
I
beat
think
up.
he died. There's no way that, and I also think with the messaging of the movie, like I don't think they were gonna make him survive, like the events with
Mhm.
like how he is.
Yeah.
Like it feels
Yeah.
like a good ending for him.
Yeah. It does. Because he to the he apologizes genuinely, but he's still a pretty shitty person.
Mm,
And I think it's just supposed to be that message of like kind of karma. It comes
mhm,
due. There aren't many horror movies where you hate the survivor.
yeah,
You hate the last girl. Yeah, it doesn't happen. And so I think if he did live, it would have been a completely different movie.
mhm,
Yeah.
yeah, I agree. Alright, so boys, are we recommending it? Yes or no?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Uh, there's a lot of man, Yeah, we've been getting some good horror movies recently, between this and Ghost Watch and everything. Yeah, no, this is a good one. And weirdly, and maybe we had a discussion about Deadstream a while ago. Weirdly, going after some of the same things, right? Which
Mhm.
begs the question: if I love this, why do I have such a disdain for Blair Witch? But I don't know, guys. I don't know. Maybe I still have to like investigate some things about myself. Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Oh,
Yeah. Big
wow.
recommend for one of the funniest
Mm.
horror movies I've seen of the past year, 2024. Now, I just can't
Mhm.
believe that I never heard about it until now. Thank you, Ryan.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no
Yeah,
problem. I
that's a
love
straight
being
man's
able to
idea.
show off like Shudder originals because
Mm.
some of them are so well done and deserve the recognition that, maybe it didn't get the biggest theatrical release, but they're still movies that were made with a lot of love and
Yeah,
a lot of care taken for them.
yeah, yeah. It's totally simplified. I
Yeah.
think it's probably the best, if not the funniest. I mean, I think it surpasses Tucker and Dale vs. Evil to me. I mean, there's not many comedy horrors that I can think of off the top of my head,
Mhm.
but I so enjoyed this. I really did.
Yeah. Well, boys, I think it is time that we open up our presents.
Oh yeah.
Oh yes. Oh yes. I'm very excited for this. Who's going first? We like
Sure.
drawing.
I just said that and I saw Tina look in from the other the other room because she's been waiting to
Itching to
to
get
say
the.
Whoa.
Oh,
she's very excited for this. So,
oh, she
I'll
is.
open
Oh,
one.
okay. Is
I'll
Tina in
start.
the
I'll
room?
open one.
Hi,
No,
Tina.
she's in the closet.
Hi, Tina. I hate
Oh,
you.
Go.
Oh.
Go.
Nick says that he hates you.
Wow.
Go.
See her
Wow.
face.
That's the only
He went,
thing.
Wow. That's awesome.
no, he says he misses you.
Yes, thank you.
No, he did actually say that. She thought I made it up.
Did you two get my Christmas card? Both you, Ryan and Bill.
Yes, I did. I did. It's very sweet. That's still in my
I don't think
fridge.
I did.
Oh,
Oh.
I don't
Oh.
think I ever
Oh.
got
dude,
it.
I don't.
Oh.
I sent one to you. It might have gone to your parents' house.
Maybe.
I forget which address I sent it to,
Mm,
but it's there.
okay.
I guess if it's not with you, but
All right. I'm gonna start. Nick or Bill, do you have a preference of who you want me to open first?
I go do Bill's.
Bill.
Yeah. Do mine. I'm actually pretty excited. I'm actually pretty
All right.
excited for this one. Wait. Did I? Okay, I remember. I remember now. I remember now. Yoink.
All right. Here we go. 3. I'm trying to make sure that it's the front that I show to the screen. Okay.
Okay,
I
wait.
don't know what it is yet. Here we go. Okay.
Before you open, wait a second. You have the ability to play Blu-ray, right?
Oh, of course.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know why I was nervous, but okay.
All
I
right.
believe
Here
that's the one. Yes. Okay.
we
I don't know.
go.
Open it.
Oh, it
It's not the
is
Blu-ray. Sorry.
Mad God is awesome. I have seen Mad God before. It is
Oh my
awesome.
god. Oh, Ryan has seen so many.
You've
This was a
seen
hard thing.
I've seen this
Mad
movie 3
God?
times.
Oh
What?
fuck no! Really, dude? Really?
Yeah, so I watched it once when it came out, uh,
Okay.
on Shudder because Shudder original, of course, took
Is it
40
Shudder
years to
original?
over 40 years to make.
Is it
Uh,
Shudder original? Damn it. Okay.
then I watched it a second time because I just needed something on, like not just something in the background put on. And then third, Joe Bob did an episode that was all like animated slash like that type of vibe, and he showed it as the first movie.
Yeah. So to give you a little context, Nick, Mad God is a
Mhm.
stop motion horror, like kind of, I don't know, yeah, at least horror in there. Um, 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 Made by, what's his name? David Tippett. It's probably his
Phil
name is
Tippett.
probably Phil Tippett, who was a creature effects guy on Star Wars, and he
Hmm.
used his Star Wars money to make this film over the course of like 40 years.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Had a lot of like
Yeah.
students, people do help him for free, like on it. Like he did a lot of work on it, which I'm very glad that you got this for me because I don't have it. So now I can add to my
Mm.
collection.
Oh
Okay,
my
at
god.
least I did something. Okay, god damn. Okay, you know, if it is a Shudder original, so I should have.
It's okay.
No.
I'm very tough. I'm very tough to get for because I've seen
Very
so
tough
many
to get
things.
for. Oh god. Okay, I'm gonna be so embarrassed. What if Nick did it? What if Nick actually got you a movie that
Oh,
you
am I
enjoyed?
gonna open
I'm,
both of them now? Do you want me to
I'm
open up
glad you.
Nick's?
I'm glad
Yeah,
you like
open.
Mad God though. Yeah, but yeah. Well,
Yeah.
Wait,
yeah.
I
Bills.
love
Unless you want
I
to do,
love my God.
should we do Ryan's for Bills? I do like that kind of
Oh,
cycle.
Oh,
And
yeah.
then Bills for yeah.
Okay.
sure. Yes, I believe that it interesting. Okay, sorry. I'm like trying to like this has to be okay. You just said Billy Angle on mine,
Yeah.
right? Okay, because yeah. Bill BB is I
Yeah.
believe is
Don't let the others know.
okay.
No, yeah. Let's talk about. Hold on. Ryan addressed mine Nikki Vogel, and so I thought like, oh, we're gonna be silly with the names. So I addressed Bills as Billy BB.
I think I said like yours is Nicholas Vogel. I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure.
Yes, it is. I
Yeah,
think.
it is. Okay,
Bill's
okay, yeah.
opening
So
mine right now.
I'm opening yours.
Okay.
Okay. Without further ado, is there any to do?
Yep. I'll tell you after
Okay.
anything you may need. I hope you haven't seen it before.
What's it? Honestly, I always find that oh, good heavens, the Day of the Beast, dude. I have
Oh.
not seen this one before, and I've wanted to. So, dude, this is actually perfect.
Yes.
This is like a crazy W. This is a crazy W. Dude, this is what country of origin is this? This is
So
this
it's Spanish.
okay.
Uh,
Oh.
it is about a priest that hears that there's going to be the birth of the Antichrist. So
Hmm.
he decides that he is going to commit as many sins that he possibly can, so the
Wow.
devil will confide in him the location of the birth. It
Wow.
is so funny, that movie.
Wow. You you know what it is? It's this is so interesting. This is so interesting. Not what I would do, the chain of logic, but you know, this
Hmm.
is best horror comedies. Another horror
Oh,
comedy.
horror
Let's
comedy.
go.
Yep.
Good.
Yeah, one of the
I'm
best
glad
horror
that's a
comedies.
comedy.
Rogue.
It is so incredibly funny, that movie.
Wow.
Dude, he enlists a death metal record store clerk and a cheesy TV psychic for an urban spree.
Yep.
Wow. Okay. I am very, very excited to hear about this. I've heard it's good, so I'm excited
Mhm.
for this. Now, who would be next? It'd be Nick opening mine?
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
Is that
I'll
right?
open.
Or
I'll open.
Ryan, Nick opening Ryan's. I don't know. Oh
I
God,
guess.
sorry. I just remember what I got for you, Nick. This is a crazy
Sorry.
movie. Okay, anyway, sorry. Okay, I'm just remembering.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Bill has both mad guy.
Yeah. I just remember what I got you guys. By the way, I'm glad. I remember we cleared that up that we were gonna get separate movies for people, and so
Yeah.
hopefully,
Mm.
I had to. Just so you know, Nick, this is well. Actually, no, I'm not gonna say anything.
All
I'm
right.
gonna say anything.
I would imagine I am probably the easiest to buy for compared to you two. And
Yeah.
I think that I don't that sounds like me not being humble. I feel like it's because I've seen the least. Like my film watching is much I think smaller at least for compared to both of you, especially when it comes to horror movies. Maybe not when we're
Uh,
talking in movies in general.
I'm gonna. I'm
Um
gonna. I'm gonna take a wild gamble and say you've never seen this movie before.
okay.
But
Wild gamble. You're probably right. You're probably
yeah,
right.
I'm gonna take a wild gamble. This movie is a little hard to find.
Okay. I don't know if you can I don't
Wait.
think it's gonna flip. It's called Pin.
Oh, Pin. It's called.
Ooh.
Do you know Pin, Ryan? Do you
I've
know Pin,
heard of
Ryan?
it. I've never seen it.
Okay. It is kind of a crazy movie that I watched with some friends in college, who remembers it from their childhood. It's a Canadian production.
Ooh.
I
Is it
don't want to
what?
reveal. It's a Canadian
Oh,
production.
Canadian.
I don't
Oh,
want
okay.
I don't want to reveal too much about it because I kind of want you going in as cold as possible, Nick. But
Okay.
it is. I think you'll super appreciate it because it's very psychological. Because it's people attributing things to things that could not possibly. It's pretty
Describe
good. It's
anywhere.
pretty good. I like that you've never
Okay.
seen it either, Ryan. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
I might have
Yeah.
to check it out too.
I should have
Fine.
flipped. I should have flipped. I should have flipped. Oh well.
No, it's all
Okay.
good.
You'll like
Yeah.
Pin though. You'll like Pin though, Nick. I think. Yeah. But
So then
Okay.
I think what we'll do now is I'll open Nick's, and then Nick will
Okay.
open mine, and then Bill,
I'll
you'll
open.
open Nick's. So
Okay.
Okay.
that'll be So we'll go the
Yeah.
opposite way this time.
Yeah. I think the challenge really of this whole thing was find a DVD that Ryan hasn't. And I will say, for both of you, I scoured underrated horror movie films, but then like the subsection of underrated, I heard like it was like lesser known, really underrated films. So that's what I was
Mhm.
hoping for as like as a theme for both of you.
I'm surprised you didn't come across Pin in that thing.
I might have, but I
Hmm.
didn't. I didn't look into it.
It's really
All
crazy
right.
because I forgot about it and then saw a Reddit post. But anyway, continue.
You guys ready? I'm gonna have it go up to the camera first, and then
Okay.
here we go.
Oh, so we're seeing
Oh,
first.
oh! I have
Jeez.
never seen this.
Oh yes. Okay, I
Whoa!
believe. Hold
Love
on,
you.
I have to. It is a Dutch film. Do I have that right? I know.
I
It's
mean,
not.
I know Yorgos Lanthimos. I mean,
Yes,
Poor
I think it
Things
was.
and
Yeah, he's
Yes,
super
that's
hot
why.
right now.
Yes, I got it for you because I saw it. You watched Poor Things. I forget if you liked it or not. You like Poor
it was
Things?
fine.
Okay. Yeah, I know it was very not. It was a little. I can divided.
Yeah.
But I looked into his older stuff that seemed to be
Mhm.
better, and there's a lot of talk
Ooh.
about this movie being. I mean, it pushes things like to the limit. This is going to be a very intense movie.
Ooh, I'm ready.
It's similarly psychological to similarly psychological, but it's psychological in a way of like, if I remember correctly, it's about these two kids who are raised completely sheltered
Hmm.
from outside life.
Okay.
Like what it means when like one person is fully creating your entire 100% of your experience.
Mhm.
So like, and I don't remember a lot of it, but I know I haven't seen it actually, but I really looked into it. One of like the examples is like they don't call each other by names because they weren't taught that people have names.
Oh,
Shit.
yeah.
Yeah, so it's a lot of like manipulation, psychological horror
Ooh,
that really intrigued me, and so I hope you enjoy it because I will
I'm
definitely want to
excited.
watch it, depending on how you like it.
Yeah.
That's really good.
Thank you.
That's really interesting because no, I did read a thing recently that people wonder if people in the past had names. You know, like
Mm,
like pre-recorded history, or like would it be like, oh, like you're the person, like it's like you're the person that looks like Ryan, and you're the person that looks like Nick, obviously, and like you live in like a
yeah,
group of like 20 people. It's like okay, you probably don't have a need for name. This is that person. You know, very
Mhm.
yeah.
interesting. So
Yes, yeah, it's that's similar. I think it really yeah, I think it really captures that
it,
premise for a lot of things.
was this like the breakout movie for Yorgos? I don't because I know The Lobster was a big deal for him,
I
but
think The
Yeah,
Lobster was the breakout.
I would say The Lobster was. Yeah, this is his earlier film. It's 2009.
okay. Wow, that's a while ago. Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah,
It has good Letterboxd rating.
it
It has a
does. I
3.7.
made
That's
sure.
solid.
Yes, yeah, 7.1 IMDb. Um, yeah, so
I
it should be. But I think it's said to be one of Yorgos's best.
Mhm. 'Cause the one, like, I know that I've watched, like, that would be closest to horror of his would be The Killing of a Sacred Deer.
Yes, yeah,
So I'm
I was
excited to
thinking
see, like, an
about that.
older film by him.
Yeah, when he
Yeah,
was still maybe more raw.
thank you guys. I'm very, very excited about the 2 of these.
rewatch, but we can
I'll
hey, we can
rewatch it.
at least we can thing. I'm excited for you to watch Mad Guy. I think you'll find something out of it too.
Mhm.
Excited for you to watch it. You both. Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
All right, Nick.
Nice.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll do
Just
Nick
to-
for. Yep.
My name's not Nick. It's Nikki Vogel, apparently, according to you.
Ooh,
Which
let's
man, that is a name. Or like I don't get called Nikki, and like my current fiance, she had a friend in college who I met, who like I introduced myself as Nick, and she said, "I'm gonna call you Nikki."
go.
And I was like,
dude.
"Oh my god!" And that never changed.
Dude, people
I was like, "Wow, you know what? You're the only person who has so boldly just called me Nikki
Dude.
all the time, and that is all right."
People took a lot of liberties with my name in college, particularly in a particular theater group. I've come to.
Yes,
Yeah, took a
which
lot of
you
liberties.
really you didn't enjoy that name, did you?
Yeah, it's I I've come into it. I feel like after a certain point you have to just stop resisting.
Okay.
No,
Embrace. You
not
embrace it.
maybe in like the lighter side of it. But,
Yeah. Yeah,
Alright.
no, I feel that. So anyway, I don't know. All right, here we go. I'm gonna try to do what.
Ooh.
Oh,
I don't know what does that even say?
whoa.
Mhm.
Wait a second? How did John Amen? What is she in? Why is that?
So the main actress is in Ant-Man and the Wasp. She's
Oh
the
yeah.
ghost.
Oh,
Well, no, maybe that's
interesting.
not who I'm thinking.
So it's a little Irish film that I got you, Nick.
All
Uh,
right.
a lot of lore with that movie. You're gonna learn a lot of like Ireland folklore with it.
Oh, okay.
So the
Okay.
vibes that I wanted to go with for both of you
Mhm.
guys was I want something foreign for both of you.
Okay. Love it.
Hmm.
Oh, Bill's is in Spanish. Yours is in English, Nick. Yours is still in English.
Russian.
Uh,
Okay.
No subtitles in mine. That's so sad.
yeah.
What's it? Can you imagine? Can you imagine?
Oh,
No.
I was like, what?
No.
I know. Sorry. I was like, oh, thanks. Thanks, Ryan. No.
Yeah.
I've got movies like that though that don't come with like subtitles and stuff. Sometimes
Oh,
when they're not in
really?
the NTSC. Yeah.
Mhm.
Oh.
And Nick, there are moments in the movie that I gave you where I
Uh-huh.
literally like screamed because not from fear, like of
Oh.
like laughter. I was
Really?
not ready of what was gonna happen.
Okay. Oh, wow. So is it? Would you say it's a horror comedy?
No, and like moments, but
Interesting.
it's
Okay.
it's so very funny. The movie is very funny, but it also has so many serious topics within it.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Uh, things that like uh, there's a lot about abuse that's talked about it,
Mm,
which I was telling
okay.
friends. I had my friend watch who ends up also loving this movie, and I was like, it's so funny, and like she watched it and was like, that first scene after you told me it was funny, I was like, what do you have me watching right now?
Someone had going, Ryan is the most screwed up person I've ever
Yeah.
met.
But she was like, once I got more into it, I was like, okay, yes, this is very funny. But
Okay. All right. I look
it's
forward to it. It's is it
also Shudder
fantasy horror?
original.
It is a Shudder original. Okay.
Another
Oh,
Shutter
cool.
original.
It's like a fantasy horror. It looks like.
Kind of. Kind of.
Okay.
I don't
Interesting.
wanna spoil.
See, that's
Okay.
my thing. I think it's good to leave Nick in the dark with his films. I
Mhm.
think
Yeah.
that will lead to most personal enjoyment.
I like being in the dark.
Yeah.
I like being in the dark.
And
Okay,
Well,
that's
and I
good.
don't
think
take that
yours
out of context.
yeah. And I think you'll like being able to look up a few things, like, about, like, folklore, like, at the
Yeah.
end of it.
Okay. Yeah, I will.
Uh,
Because I think Irish films do that a lot. Irish films rely a lot on like, uh, um, folklore, tall tales, stuff like that.
Mhm.
I
Yeah,
was
even
shocked how
in
much
those.
folklore. I don't know if you guys have ever seen Banshees of Inisherin.
Yep.
I'm surprised how
No,
much
but I know.
folklore
Yep.
is in that. Great movie. Has one of my favorite quotes of all time. But I don't know if I can. You've never seen it, Nick?
No, I'm not.
It's
I
great.
like the. I just, I just don't like you anymore.
Yeah.
I love that. I love it. He's so good. He's
Mhm.
so good. Freaking what's his face? I know it's of course
Oh my god.
The older guy, Mad Eye Moody. Mad Eye Moody's actor.
Mm,
Oh,
Who is
Anna
that
Moody. Oh,
guy?
gotta look
Oh,
it up.
this is embarrassing. I don't know because of course it's also the Penguin actor, which is sad because he totally gets
Brendan
lost in there.
Gleeson.
Brendan Gleeson. Brendan Gleeson is Mad Eye Moody, and it's also Barry Keegan's in that as
Yep,
well.
Barry
There's
Keegan.
a lot
That
of
was the
friggin'
first thing I was like literally thinking. I was like, it's not him though.
yeah. See, wait, now I'm blanking on the main guy's name. The
Colin
guy who's
Farrell.
the Penguin, Colin Farrell. God, that's embarrassing.
Mhm.
I gotta tell you guys something. I don't know if you guys know the movie In Bruges. It's like a dark comedy film that is also Brendan Gleeson and Colin Farrell and the director of
Mhm.
Banshees of Inisherin. So it's like them reuniting. It was them
Mm.
reuniting from In Bruges to make Banshees of Inisherin, and I had not watched it before. I suggested it as a date movie once.
oh,
Worst mistake of my frigging life. It is not a good date movie. Colin Farrell is really tough in that movie. He like makes fun of like people for like their disabilities and
oh
stuff.
no.
It's tough. Yeah, it's tough.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's tough. It's real tough.
That's
Yeah. It's
I imagine that
by
date
the way,
didn't go well.
it's like a 2008 film. Well,
Okay.
you know, I don't know. I don't know, and that's not that you know far off. So I don't know. That's I was shocked. I was shocked, but I'm excited for my Nick movie.
Ooh.
Very excited. I'm gonna kind of do it from the side to see if I can
Billy
identify.
BB.
Okay. So okay. All right. I believe this is it. Oh. Okay.
Oh.
Uh, Communion. Com-
Mm-hmm.
Communion. I see an alien. I see an alien.
Yes.
Christopher
Mm-hmm.
Walken.
Yeah.
Dude. Dude. This is okay.
Yeah. So
Have you seen this?
no, like I said, I went deep into what underrated and unknown films that were out there in horror movies, and this is a more it's a more sci-fi horror. Um,
Um,
yeah, yeah, it's even labeled as a
I
sci-fi
love
horror.
I love sci-fi, so this is like
Yeah, it's
Mhm.
it's pretty. It's said to be I'm trying to remember. It's like it's kind of it's kind of a divisive film because I think it's gonna it's a I want you to watch it and I want you to imagine comparing it to Alien.
okay, one of my favorite
Ooh.
movies of all time. Okay.
Yeah, because that's kind of why I got it for you. Is because after we did the Alien episode, I realized like, oh, I wonder how much Billy likes Alien movies, and I wanted to
I,
integrate Alien horror. And this movie is pretty 50-50 when it comes
okay.
to when it comes to the movie. So I'm interested to see what you think of it.
How people think of it. Well, dude, I'll be
Mhm.
real. This actually has me really excited because one of my sort of slept on favorite book to film adaptations also
Mhm.
features Christopher Walken in a sort of horrific role. I don't
Okay.
know if you
Jungle Book.
guys I wanna be like you. Although that is awesome. Although that is awesome. When I saw Christopher Walken King Louie, I like started tweaking. I was like, that is the
Oh
craziest
man.
thing. Boldest choice I could have made. Um,
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys like this. I feel like there's been a lot of debate recently with it's a Stephen King thing that I'm
Mhm.
thinking of, where people are like, "Oh, what's the best Stephen King adaptation, like movie adaptation and stuff like that?"
Mhm.
And I don't think it's the best one, but there is his novel The Dead Zone.
I know this
Christopher,
Dead Zone.
have you seen that? You seen that?
Yeah,
What's it? I actually quite like that. I actually quite
I
like
like it
that
too.
movie. Yeah, so I'm
Mm.
excited to see what he did here. The best Stephen King adaptation though is definitely Shining. But I don't know if we're ready for that conversation.
Are you guys
Are you
ready
gonna are you
for? Oh yeah, I was
yeah,
gonna say, are you guys ready for the monkey coming out?
the monkey?
Is that
Have you
Stephen
guys seen
King?
trailers for that?
No,
I think
dude.
so.
Okay, it's based off a Stephen King short story, and it's coming out in
Oh,
February, and it's directed by Osgood Perkins, who directed Longlegs recently,
Mm,
oh,
and of course is the son of Anthony Perkins.
right.
oh. Mm.
There's some good horror movies that are supposed to be coming out this year. That I'm very excited for. Hard Eyes. That's gonna be
Mm.
What
coming
is? I
out.
don't know. I haven't seen that. I haven't seen the trailer there.
It's gonna be like a My Bloody Valentine kind of.
Oh, okay. Okay.
That's at least what it looks like. It could be completely different, but that's the vibes that I got from it from the
Okay.
trailer.
Okay. Interesting with the hard eyes. I feel like we might see a lot of I think Smile really I think Smile introduced a whole new maybe subgenre, maybe not a new subgenre, but I think a new forefront of the subgenre like body horror, not in a ankles breaking kind of body horror, but in just like the face. Because like
Mhm.
hard eyes, it seems like hard eyes is like the whatever an
Yeah,
enemy or
it's like
something,
a mask.
but then long leg,
But
right?
it's like a mask, and it
Okay,
has
yeah, like
like
a
very red, like hard eyes through as like
yeah,
the eye holes or whatever the
yeah.
lenses. Uh,
Okay, yeah.
and also with body horror, of course. Now that we've had like it's now the year 2025. Substance is the best horror movie of 2024. I'm just gonna say it. The Substance is
Oh,
phenomenal.
Dude, I haven't seen it yet. I've really been
same.
slacking. I've really been
Yeah,
slacking.
so
Yeah,
much talk about it.
heard so
Mm,
much about it. I've heard so much about Nosferatu, which
mhm. Saw
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
yeah. I've heard Nosferatu's. I'm not gonna lie. I expected it to come out and it to be like this unbelievable, another like feather and like Eggers, like cap, like like it's gonna be like another thing. It
Mm.
seems a little divisive.
It's
It seems a
very
little divisive.
divisive.
Interesting.
It
Hmm.
Yeah.
is very divisive for people. And it seems like the people that like didn't like it are the ones saying like I don't get it. From what I've seen,
Oh,
people like it's not for me.
yes.
I don't get like the appeal of it.
Oh well.
Mm.
So I'm
Interesting.
curious when you see it, like what you're gonna think.
A
Did you feel it,
non-horror.
Carlos? Oh, go on, Bill.
No, you're good. No, I want to hear your thoughts on Nosferatu a little bit, Ryan. You've seen the '70s,
Yep.
Werner one.
Werner
Okay,
Herzog. Yes.
right. Cool.
Well, that's
Good
it.
movie.
Was it?
Good
Was
movie.
it? Sorry. Oh, sorry. No, no, my thing's gonna be like. I think that was for me the definitive version that I've
Mm.
seen in Nosferatu. But did you think that this is better than
Um,
Herzog's?
I don't want like what I will say is like I
Mm,
don't want to disrespect the 1922 one in the process. It is
yeah,
the weakest of the
yeah.
three, and like I
1922.
yeah, the 1922 one is the weakest of the three.
Yeah,
Hmm.
it suffers
Eh,
from old movie problems.
yeah,
It's
it's
okay. We can
it's
say that.
tough.
We can say
Yeah.
that. Yeah, we can
Uh,
say that. Yeah.
the Werner Herzog one is so close to this one for me.
Yeah.
Uh, but I think I preferred the Eggers one. I'm a
Interesting.
big fan of Eggers like movies and like the way that he does things. And I think the way that he portrays everything in this one is so interesting.
Mhm.
Uh, and not to say that I don't like the Werner Herzog. Like that is an excellent, excellent remake compared to the original. Like it is better than the original.
Yeah.
Uh, but I think I prefer Nosferatu, like the character Nosferatu in the Werner Herzog more than I prefer Bill Skarsgård.
Mm.
I heard some crazy things
Mm.
about things that happen in the movie, which maybe I don't know if we could talk about, but
Uh, we're gonna
it's
be very close to
little, yeah, it's a little
Sean
corny in the
Roddy's
movie.
gonna demonetize us. Oh, it is.
Oh,
Yeah.
I heard about the vampire dick. I've heard some rumblings about the
Okay.
vampire dick.
Yeah, the
Yes.
Nosferatu. Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
Count
anyway.
Orlok
Nostr
Anyway,
Orkot.
yeah,
Nosferatu
the
hard.
or Count or anyway.
Yeah, Count Orkot. Yeah.
That's what I've heard.
Yeah,
Yeah,
uncircumcised.
so
Uh,
Oh, really? Is Bill Skarsgård? Okay.
Oh,
yeah,
Kidding.
it's a cast, and Nicholas Hoult, who plays like Thomas Hutter, has it framed.
That
Yeah,
is
you can look up the
crazy.
picture.
Nicholas
We
Holt's
can't put
having
that
a
on the
whole
video. We can't. You look it
no,
up if you
no,
want to look it up,
no,
but
yeah.
Nicholas Holt is having a real renaissance too.
he's
Like
great.
having a real. I know him best as freaking Beast in X-Men. I don't know if you
Mhm.
like, you know, like,
Oh,
but apparently he was pretty alright in that Clint Eastwood movie. Insane that Clint Eastwood is still directing things. He's still like,
I know. I heard that he is good in that too.
yeah, Juror 2 or whatever.
I mean, I
Yeah,
love him in Warm
oh
Bodies.
yeah.
That's like
Warm
such a
Bodies.
comfort movie, like to me.
Movie I'm really excited for, guys. It wasn't until I saw a trailer. I literally was like, I was not aware of this film until I saw a trailer for it. Bong Joon-ho's movie, Mickey 17.
Yes,
You
I've
guys hear
heard
about this?
so much about it.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy. It's like about like really kind of it's like weird because obviously Bong Joon-ho is very interested in like class
Yep.
issues and like individuality and stuff like that. And it sort of seems to be taking it to this crazy sci-fi extreme where like you can get like cloned over and over again. And but the thing is that you the old clone always has to be destroyed. This was all explained in the trailer, so I don't want to,
Yeah.
think. But then what if that stopped happening? And you know, there's a thing. But it seems pretty funnier than he goes. Or I guess
Mhm.
this is the smiles. This is the all smiles. Year of maybe we'll get a comedy renaissance in 2025. But yeah, it seems
Yeah.
pretty lighthearted compared to the stuff he does. Because
I would say
there's
like
like
Memories of Murder by him is like in my top 5 like best movies I've ever watched.
memories of murder. Really,
Yes. Oh, if you've never seen that movie, that highly, highly we could talk for hours about that movie.
memories of murder.
Mhm.
Okay, well now I got it. Now if he's here, this is a top movie, not a horror movie. This is a
Yes.
movie.
Yes.
Interesting. Well, now I kind of want to.
It's based on a true story. Uh, and it's about this like these detectives trying to figure out like trying to stop a serial killer. And
Interesting.
it goes a lot about like at the time how uh the police were very like abusive, and like it goes a lot into that and the media's involvement, and how because the media got involved the police felt they couldn't do their job right. And it goes into detail with things, and it's you'll be thinking about it after you finish watching it.
Memories of Murder. Okay.
Mhm.
Okay. Sorry. There's a very similar movie called Memoirs of Murders. And it's
Mhm.
it's it's also I was about to be like, excuse me, Ryan, because it was made by a different South Korean director. So
Mhm.
no, but Memories of Murder 2003. Okay.
Yes.
Interesting.
Mhm.
Movie looks
Oh,
so
it
good.
is fantastic, this movie.
Ah, okay. Uh uh
Mhm.
Letterboxd, actually let me actually legitimately add it to my list.
Yeah. So, I think our
Movies.
plan then for our next, podcast is, of course, to watch the movies that we got and talk about them. Uh, I will try to watch everyone's movies. I've written down what we all got, so I will try to watch all of them.
I was gonna say to that end, how are we going to like pick a movie of these six or
Nope, I think you guys just watch whichever ones you got. If you wanna watch, another one, you can, because we won't go into full discussions for each movie. It will kinda do, like, our thoughts about them, maybe, like, a 10-minute, like, talk about it, and then go on to the next one.
Yeah.
okay. That sounds good. Our
Mm.
Yeah,
personal I've been working on my personal ratings system. Like, everybody has like their like rating like, like how many chili
mhm,
peppers is this,
yeah,
it's really unfortunate. It's really
Oh,
unfortunate.
yeah.
I have to admit that even though I don't love him as like a person or like, don't think that his like content is the best, I don't know if you guys know Anthony Fantano.
Yep.
and music stuff.
Yeah.
I think his rating system of like it's like a 1 through 10, and it can be like a light 7 or like a better 7. I forget what he says.
Yeah,
Heavy,
it's like a light 6 to a wait, strong 5, light
light
6.
strong.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I kind of like that because it allows me to be very mealy mouthed with my reviews. Or I can say like, oh, it's like I don't want to call something an 8, so I'll call it a strong 7.
Mhm.
So
Yeah. No, I get that because for me, like, I feel like with my rating system, like, a movie could be like a 5-star if we're doing Letterboxd or a 10 out of 10, but not be
Mm,
perfect. That's just personally
mm.
how I feel with
Right.
things. So, like, I
Yeah,
give
yeah,
more
you
5
are.
stars, but I also believe, like, a movie doesn't need to be perfect. No movie's absolutely perfect.
Yeah, yeah. And I will be very curious on where you rate this because the Dogtooth, it's pretty explicit.
Mm,
I mean, to me, I think it's like up there with um it's kind of hard actually to kind of compare. I think the reason why, like I said, I looked in depth to Dogtooth much more than Communion because Communion was a very kind of straightforward
Right.
alien movie, whereas Dogtooth, because it's more forward, I had to kind of dig deep for it,
mhm,
and it's pretty intensely explicit. And I don't know, I'm curious. Like I'm almost like imagining like a hostile level of gore, a hostile level of intensity, but not a hostile level of gore.
mhm.
Interesting.
That makes sense.
Hostel is
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's
but it's like
Hostel's
it's
interesting.
that. I'm going for an experience with these, and not
Mhm,
yeah. And because you like foreign films, I think it's really interesting to kind of see the boundaries that foreign films take and how different that is for every country. Like
mhm,
this is it's on a movie level. I was recently talking to somebody about how like British films are so easy with nudity. They're so like take like Love Actually or a
mhm,
lot of other British shows and stuff.
yeah.
Um, that just like they're so easily nudity. There is so much nudity. However, like queerness is not comfy for them, which almost like doesn't add up, right? Because like one being so comfortable with nudity and sexual explicit, but not queerness on screen, right? Is so I and so like that's a unique aspect. I have never watched a Dutch film, so I am curious about how those like unique qualities of the Dutch culture will maybe come through while you're watching.
mhm.
Dude, you've never watched a Dutch film before?
I don't think so.
Dude, I'm such an Ingmar Bergman fan that I'm like,
Mm.
yeah, sorry.
I don't know what that is.
Ingmar Bergman? No way.
What?
Oh, you're gonna have to do a
Uh,
deep dive, man.
you're gonna
That's
have to do some deep dive. I would say that like he made a lot of films in the 50s, 60s, 70s that a lot of modern filmmakers are like, oh, I saw this film and it like changed my life. He's like a genius, you
Really?
know?
yeah.
Yeah. And
I
Damn.
he
think
really
he's
is.
got like I think there's 2 or 3 Criterion.
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
For him alone, and it's all really good. Strawberry Fields should definitely be a or Strawberry. Same the movie again. Persona for sure is sure.
mhm.
In the Criterion. Um,
Oh yeah, I'm
oh, and
looking at
his
his filmography. I don't recognize any of these.
Daily Seventh Seal. That's such a classic.
No.
I actually to show my hand even further. Show my hand even further. Yeah, maybe I should have sent you this book, dude.
Oh. Oh
Yeah,
shit.
yeah. No, I'm
Oh,
a
I think
big
I
fan.
recognize that book. That's interesting. I think I recognize that book, but I don't
This is
recognize.
this is Seventh Seal. This is the aspect of death. So yeah,
Oh,
it's there's a lot, dude. I wouldn't be surprised. There's a lot of scenes from a lot of Bergman's movies that you've probably seen, like either
Yeah.
homaged to or there's a lot of good stuff.
okay.
So
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Persona's really good. You should watch Persona, Nick. I think.
Okay. I'll add it to the list.
On a starting place.
Mm,
Persona.
yeah. So with all of that being said, we our normal thing of waffling a little bit.
Yes, yes, yes. Sorry, it was good. It was good waffling though.
Yeah, we had some solid waffles in there.
Mhm.
Just want to say thank you guys, of course, for the movies and for doing this. I love talking to you guys about film, and uh,
Yeah, Merry
I feel
Christmas.
like yeah, Merry Christmas.
Yes,
And
and
of
a happy
course,
New Year.
we have Skippy has one, so either he will record himself opening it, or he will show an image of what movie he got. He still does not know, so I know I told you guys what he got, but
Yeah.
he will find out, and I think it's very on brand for him.
Okay,
So
cool.
Skippy will have fun with that movie. Yeah.
yeah, we'll have some Skippy discussion as well next time about the movie that he got. We've got him watching one now.
Yeah, it's just not all on us. No heavy lifting, right?
Yeah. Heavy lifting, initiation, whatever it may be.
Yeah, yeah, bullying.
Yeah.
Bullying.
Oops.
And
quiet
then
part
I
about
think
it.
I think after we do our movies next time that we should do
That would
another
be
Valentine's
fun.
Day special. Kind of like what we did with My Bloody Valentine. I
Yes.
think we should do that again.
Yeah, I think that would be fun. We brought on some guests, I think, for that too, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, that was
we brought on Kaylin, we brought on Tina.
Yeah.
yeah, Rihanna. That was 2 years ago, right?
2
was
years.
two-
That might be 3 years, or
Might be
that might
3
be a little
years
bit.
ago.
Here.
I
OG
might be.
podcast there.
Yeah. If I'm remembering correctly.
Yeah, I feel like we had a good discussion about that one too. So, maybe get everyone to see Starry Eyes, different movie, Hard Eyes, and
Oh yeah. Okay.
Okay.
so we could talk about we could figure out some things. We could get a different horror romance. Talk about Let the Right One In. We got Your Monster, different horror
Mm.
romance. We
You
got a
could do
bunch
Let
of
the Right
different
One In.
options.
I'd get to see Let the Right
Mhm.
One In. I know.
Dude, that is violently.
Yeah, that was the
kind of
movie I got
essential.
Bill for when we did it.
Last
I
year.
remember,
Yeah, I know this.
and dude, that movie was awesome.
Yeah.
Movie is awesome.
Phenomenal movie.
What country of origin on that? Is it Swedish?
That is Swedish.
Swedish.
Uh,
Great movie.
Yeah.
maybe I
So
just don't
all
like
right.
Swedish ones.
Swedish.
No, I'm kidding. No, I need to open up my repertoire. I need to open it up.
to finish out this episode, I'm gonna quickly with Swedish. I watched Frankenhooker for the first time.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, Frank Henenlotter film. Wild time. But there's literally have you guys seen Frankenhooker?
No.
No, dude.
Okay. It's actually pretty
Oh,
good. A lot like he has so many like deep messages with his movies that like with the like B movie quality and like all of that like schlock. But there's a part
Okay.
where our character goes to Manhattan to find like Frankenhooker, like the girl that he made, and he asks, he's like, "Have you seen like this woman? She's wearing like a purple blouse, like all this stuff." And the person starts talking to him in a different language, and walks away, and he just goes, the main character, "I don't know what you're even saying. What are you, some kind of Swede?" And it was like, did you just say a slur? Like, what? What is this?
Oh man.
But highly recommend Frankenhooker. I should have gotten that for you guys.
Wow.
Done
Okay.
Frank and a lot of films. One person basket case, the other one
Oh man. Oh, basket case.
Frankenhooker.
Wow.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah.
But like we were
Anyway.
saying, thank you everyone for watching, listening, whichever form you are interacting with this podcast. Thank you to Skippy for all that you are doing, and thank you guys for being here. And remember, be positive in 2025. Let's make it
There
a
we
good
go.
year.
Happy New
So
Year,
awesome.
everybody. Thank you
Mhm.
guys for the DVDs. We'll be back in this year.
I know. Very excited. Nice to be here.
All right. Bye, everyone.